Hello children, you must have gone through the first video. In the first video, we have discussed about the three states of matter and we have ended up with the comparison of the characteristics of three states of matter. Like one activity I have performed, that is the liquids do not have a definite shape. So open your book at page number 7 and just go through this comparison of the characteristics property of three states of matter. Just go through it and learn all the properties, and this is one of the most important topic. Now today I'm just going to start with the topic that is energy content in state of matter. So in the first video, we have discussed about the intermolecular spacing between the molecules. Now, even we have discussed that in solid states, the molecules vibrate about their mean position. In liquid states, the interparticle attractive force are not very strong in liquids. The particles can move in the available space much more freely. And as far as gaseous state is concerned, the interparticle attractive forces are negligible and particle of gas can move in all direction. So it means that I'm talking about the kinetic energy of the particles. Kinetic energy. Now what is kinetic energy? The energy possessed by the body due to its motion, that is known as kinetic energy. In physics, kinetic energy is represented as 1 by 2 mv square. Now here m is the mass of the particle and v is the velocity of the particle. Now the kinetic energy of the matter is largely affected by the increase or decrease in the temperature. That if the temperature increases, the intermolecular space between the molecules increases, and that is why they start vibrating vigorously. So we can say that if the temperature increases, the kinetic energy of the matter increases, and if the kinetic energy, if the temperature decreases, the kinetic energy of the matter decreases. Or in other words, we can say that the kinetic energy of the solid, is very less than the kinetic energy of liquid, and the kinetic energy of the liquid is less than the kinetic energy of gas. Or in other words, we can say that the kinetic energy of the gas is much more than the kinetic energy of solid and kinetic energy of the liquid. Now let us move to the next topic, that is change in state. Change in state. Now students, in our daily experience, we have seen that when the water is kept in the refrigerator and it turns into ice, and when the ice is taken out from the refrigerator, it starts changing into water. So water in its fluid form is a liquid, and in the form of steam it is gas. So few things before I shall start with this topic you have to remember. Now I am just going to write things to be remembered. First of all, the first point is boiling point. You can write it BP. Boiling point of water, that is equal to 100 degree Celsius. Now the second point is the freezing point of water. The freezing point, you can write it FZ, freezing point of water, that is equal to 0 degree Celsius. So once again students, the boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius and the freezing point of water is 0 degree Celsius. Now the next point, that is the third point, the melting point of ice. Melting point of ice, that is equal to 0 degree Celsius. So this thing you have to learn. Now just come to the point. First of all, just see it. You can take ice on heating, it will turn into water. Just see that ice is in solid states. On heating it turns into liquid, and again on further heating the water will turns into steam, that is gas. Now even this process can be reversed, and this process can be reversed by decreasing the temperature. Now here on cooling, the steams converted into water, and on further cooling, the water turns into ice. Now we find that the change in state of matter can be had by, one is change in temperature, another is changing the pressure. So from here we can say that the change of state can be reversible. Now let us take The next case, and that is the case is vaporization. Vaporization and boiling. Vaporization and boiling. These two terms are generally taken as same. Vaporization, it is defined as the change from liquid state to gaseous states on heating at a particular temperature. Like again, vaporization is the change from liquid state to gaseous states. Like liquid, from liquid states to gas. It means on heating. On heating at particular temperature. At particular temperature. This is what vaporization is, liquid and gases. Now, this process can be reversed. That is, from gas to liquids, and that process is known as on cooling. It is on cooling, and this process is known as condensation. Now move to the next. Vaporization is of two types. Vaporization is of two types. Two types of vaporization. The first one is boiling, and the next one is evaporation. Boiling, it is also known as the form of vaporization. It is the quick evaporation of liquid when heated to its boiling point, as I have discussed about the boiling of water, the boiling point of the water. Then the next is evaporation. Evaporation is a slow process of change of liquid state to gaseous state at any temperature below the boiling point of the liquids. So here are few difference which is given at page number 10, that you can go through it. Here it is evaporation and boiling. It takes place at any temperature. But as far as boiling is concerned, it takes place at a fixed temperature called the boiling point of the liquids, like 100 degree Celsius. Now evaporation causes cooling, and whereas the boiling does not cause cooling. Now the third point of evaporation, it takes place only at the surface of the liquid, and whereas the boiling occurs in the entire liquids. Fourth point is, it is a slow and silent process. Even you can take an example of pond. During the summers, the whole water evaporates, and the pond becomes totally dry. Now the next is, it is a rapid process. So these are the four difference between the evaporation and boiling. Now the students, there are certain factors which affect evaporation. The first factor is temperature, which is given at page number 10. Just open your book at page number 10 and go through it. evaporation increases with increase in temperature. As I have given the example of pond. During the summer, the pond dry very quickly as compared to the winter. So when the temperature increases, the evaporation also increases, and when the temperature decreases, the evaporation also decreases. Now the next point is the nature of liquids. Now the nature of liquids that plays a very important role. If the interparticle attractive forces are weaker in liquid, then the liquid can vaporize easily. Like you can take an example of alcohol, ether, chloroform, petrol, etc. And the surface area. This is the third factor which affects the evaporation. Now evaporation mainly takes place at the surface of liquid. Larger the surface area, if the pond is quite large, so large will be the rate of evaporation. And even after washing the clothes, we just spread or hang them so that they will dry quickly. And when we spread the wet clothes, evaporation becomes faster because surface area increases in this case. Now the next factor is circulation of air. This is also one of the important factor. Wet clothes dry quickly if wind is blowing. Then the fifth factor is the humidity. It is the measure of the quantity of water vapors present in air. If the humidity is high, means quantity of water vapors in the air is more, then the evaporation is slower in damp air. You must have observed that wet clothes do not quickly dry in the rainy season. So with this, let us move to the next topic, that is fusion and melting. The topic is fusion and melting. Fusion and melting. Now these are the two different terms and considered to be same. As far as the fusion is concerned, it is the change of solid state of a substance into liquid state, that is called fusion. You can take an example of ice when it turns into water. Ice is in solid state and the water is liquid state. And whereas the melting is concerned, it is the process of changing the solid state of a substance to the liquid states on heating at a particular temperature. On heating. So this particular temperature is called the melting point. Now students, you just see that in this case, when the ice turns into water, as we know that ice is in solid state and the water is in liquid state. When the temperature of the ice becomes 0 degrees Celsius, at 0 degrees Celsius, it turns into liquids. For example, students, this is a crystal of or piece of ice with me, and it starts melting. This is a containers and it starts melting. when the whole mass of this piece of ice melt, till then its temperature remains 0 degree Celsius. And when it totally melt into water, the initial temperature of the water will be 0 degree Celsius. Or in other words, we can say that during the change of state, like solid to liquid or liquid to solids, as I said, the process can be reversed. So during the change of the state, the temperature does not change, means the temperature remains same only. Now the question is, then where that heat has gone? That heat is absorbed to overcome the intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules. And that heat is known as latent heat of fusion. What it is known as? Latent heat of fusion. This is also known as hidden heat. This is also known as hidden heat. And it is just utilized to overcome the intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules. The latent heat of fusion of ice is latent heat of fusion of ice. Fusion of ice is 336 joule per gram. Means 1 gram required 336 joule of heat energy to turn into in the water form. So let us move to the next, that is sublimation. This is sublimation. Now it is the process in which a substance changes from solid to gases directly without passing through the liquid state. Once again, it is the process in which a substance changes from solid to gaseous state directly without passing through the liquid state. Like for example, you can take it as a solid and directly without passing through the liquid it changes into gases, and this process is known as sublimation. On heating. Clear? Now you can take an example of dry ice, iodine, camphor and naphthalene. So directly we can change solid into gas. The examples are dry ice, iodine, camphor and naphthalene bond. Now if you will reverse this process, that is gas to solid, and that process directly from gases to solid, and that process is known as deposition on cooling. So once again, what is Deposition, it is a process of change of vapors directly on cooling into solid without first changing into liquid states. So this is an example of deposition. Now move to the next, that is condensation. Next is condensation. Now what is condensation? It is the process of changing the gaseous state of a substance into liquid states. Gases into liquid. From gas to liquid. For example, windscreen and door glasses of a car becomes foggy in winter due to condensation of water vapors in air. Now, even you can reverse this process from liquid to gases, or on cooling. Now the next is freezing. Freezing. It is the process in which liquid state of a substance change into solid state on cooling. For example, when the water is cooled below 0 degrees Celsius, say minus 4 degrees Celsius, it becomes ice. And this temperature is called the freezing point of water. In other words, you can say that the freezing point of water, that is minus 4 degree Celsius, is called the freezing point. Or in other words, you can say the temperature at which the liquid solidifies at a standard atmospheric pressure, that is known as freezing point. So students, so far we have discussed almost all the changes. Now let me conclude my topic today. So first of all, I'm just going to write one equation. It is just like that. From 0 degrees Celsius to 0 degree Celsius. From 0 degree Celsius to 0 degree Celsius, the state change, that is from solid to liquid. And then on further heating at 100 degrees Celsius, the water starts boiling, and from 100 degrees Celsius to 100 degree Celsius, the water changes into steam or gaseous states. This is on heating only. This is on heating. And now you can reverse this process on cooling. On cooling, you can convert the steam into water, and then at 0 degrees Celsius you can convert it into solid states. Like this we can change the state of matter. So that's all for today. You must go through it, and if you come across any type of problem, you can share it with me. So thank you very much.